It's a cold night, but I'll be alright.
Hey guys, so I am in Yosemite National Park and I am going on Tioga Road to hike from Tenaya Creek to Clouds Rest, which is one of like my all-time favorite places in the world. And I have been a huge Yosemite super fan. Like, I come to Yosemite all the time, but I haven't actually been to Tioga Road since 2019 because of the pandemic. I didn't get to come in 2020, and in 2021 I didn't come until the fall when it was already closed. So it was a long time since I've been up here, and I am so happy and so excited to do this hike today. So I hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, I am in Yosemite and I am on the Tenaya Lake trailhead, and I'm gonna hike to Clouds Rest today and back. It's about 15 miles round trip, and I hope you enjoy this hike with me. So far the trail has started off pretty flat, and I think it's going to stay like this for the first mile or so, and then there's over 3,000 feet of elevation gain on this hike, so it's gonna get intense about 2 miles in, and then again about 5 miles in up until the summit. So there is some respite, which is nice. There's a lot of bugs here today, and a lot of the reviews on all trails said the same thing, so I've layered up on DEET and stuff, so I'm hoping that will help. But yeah. So after an initial climb, after the first sort of flat bit, it gently climbs through some rocky outcrops, and then I've just been descending back down pretty much on the same thing. And there's another couple of these sort of light streams. They're not really anything you need to worry about at this point in the season, but I guess if you're hiking early on, or if it was a heavy snow year, that could be quite tough. But it's just a trickle now, and I'd imagine, if you know, with the heat and stuff that we're getting here in Yosemite, this will be dry by the end of summer anyway. I mean, maybe even sooner, but it's definitely manageable. You don't need any extra shoes or anything to cross the water. So far the temperature is pretty warm. It's definitely getting warmer. And I've passed a couple of people, which is nice. At least I know there's a few people out on the trail. But yeah, the ascent is not too intense. It's not too dissimilar from my hike last week actually in Sequoia, where there is a climb, but it's not like super intense. But the hardest part is just coming up, and apparently that mile is a bit of a raw climb, and after that it's not as bad. So we'll see if that's true. But so far it's a beautiful hike, and it's, you know, it's gorgeous blue sky, wildflowers blooming, and look at this guy, he is so cute. Hey buddy. Can I come closer? Hey. The climb is so intense. I feel like either I'm really out of shape or everyone else is just super duper in shape that's past me, but look at the view. It just blows my mind. And breathe. So that climb was brutal, and I think it'd be hard for anybody, to be honest. Like, I'm not the fittest of guys, but I do hike a lot, and I found that really hard going. But you've got to remember that Tioga Road, it starts at 6,000 feet of elevation. So I've drove up from Long Beach today, which is obviously at sea level, started hiking at 6,000 feet, and I'm now at 9,000 feet. So it's the altitude that makes it so much harder, but it is still a steep climb regardless. So I've just come to a junction. So if I was to take the trail this way, it could take me up to Tuolumne Meadows and to Sunrise Lakes. But you can see here, it's 4.7 miles to the summit of Clouds Rest, and it's 9.7 to Half Dome. And if you want to go all the way down to the valley, it's 13.2 miles. Now that's definitely doable from here because it's downhill. You need someone to have a car that can take you from the valley back up to the Sunrise Lakes trailhead. That's the only snag. But I am going to continue on. I'm hoping, I think from what I've seen on other videos and on trail reviews, there's going to be a little bit of downhill now, and then another climb to get up to Clouds Rest. So it's a workout, but I'm trying to stay positive and optimistic that I'm going to make it today. But yeah, it's a hard hike. So at this point, I would say I'm just over 3 miles, and I've descended down this beautiful staircase, which I'm going to hate hiking back up later. But it's gorgeous. I just got a glimpse of North Dome in the distance. It's really opened up. There's so many colourful, beautiful wildflowers everywhere. Butterflies, chipmunks, woodpeckers, and I am still on the descent, but I believe it's not too far and I'll start to climb up again. Although I believe the next section is a little bit less intense. So I've just stopped to take some pictures because I did bring the camera and the camera memory card and battery for once. So I've actually got all of that stuff, and it's the GoPro that's missing today. I seem to never be able to manage my electronics. But that's not a bad thing because it's all about enjoying it. And you know, the pictures, the videos, that's just extra. Look at this gorgeous lake. So I've just got to 3.7 miles, which is about halfway now. It's just over halfway. And you come to this gorgeous pond, which is a great place to top up water if you're running low. And it's a nice place just to stop and have a snack, get some more energy before the next climb. So far, there's been a few sections where it's gone a little steeper, but there's quite a bit of shade, and there's some meadows and stuff. There's lots of water, which again, I don't know if that would be there later in the season, but there's certainly stuff to filter now. I've passed quite a few people, backpackers, who must be doing some loop up here. Maybe they're doing like Sunrise, Cathedral Lakes, Tuolumne, and incorporating Clouds Rest, or maybe they're heading back to the valley, I don't know, but yeah. It's a good workout, this hike, that's for sure. I haven't stopped too much because, well, I've stopped to do this, but I mean, I haven't stopped to sit down. I'm trying to sort of get as far as I can because I just don't want to be rushing back. I want to be able to enjoy the top and everything, you know, so yeah. It's quite a few bugs still, but it's more flies than mozzies now. But my bug spray really worked, so I'll put that at the end of the video so you can see which one I use, just in case you want to get a similar one. Like, no promo. So I've just come to another junction in the trail. This is the final big junction that you're going to come to. So right ahead of me, I can see it's 2.5 miles to Clouds Rest, 7.5 to Half Dome, 11.5 to the valley. And back to where I've come, I've already done, I can see from the sign, 5.4 miles from Tenaya Lake, which is where I parked up. There is other options as well. There's another fork where you can go to the valley, you can go to Half Dome, Nevada Falls, and Merced Lake down this way. But I'm going to press on to Clouds Rest as planned. suddenly you find yourself pretty exposed. There's very few trees, and the trees that are here are a bit shorter because it's harder for them to grow. They're a little bit more spread out, and that sun is beating down. But you can already see incredible views of the High Sierra, the passes like Donahue Pass. You can see some of the domes, and I believe right up there is Clouds Rest. That's where I'm heading. So I just got to plow forward now. The pictures are going to be worth it, the views are going to be worth it, and I tell you what, I'm having a Snickers at the top. I'm going to call this the final plateau because I think it's a bit flat, and then it's going to be the steep spine up to Clouds Rest if I have got my map reading right. And it really is a bit exposed up here now. I'm starting to feel really hot all of a sudden. I've reapplied sun cream, and you can just see like there's very few plants, and the plants that are here, they're tiny. But yeah, the end is in sight, so it's just a case now of plodding on really to the top. The struggle is real. This last bit is so hot, so exposed, and I'm really struggling. But I'm determined to get to the top, so it'll take as long as it takes. I'm on the final push. I can see the summit. Already the views are amazing. I can see I had actually a photo in that burnout area on my JMT hike. I can see Tenaya Lake back there. Like, it's incredible up here. Really, really incredible. I'm on the final stretch. My GoPro has come back to life. And look, you climb, it's quite wide. It's surprisingly wider than you think. But you can see Tenaya Lake in the background. 360 views, and I'm not even at the top yet. It's just epic. Definitely giving me Angel's Landing vibes, Beehive in Arcadia vibes, but it's still the ultimate hike. Look at that drop off.
And then he went to the other side of the field. He got
This trail is sketchy, but amazing. So it's over the spire and heading off back to Tenaya Lake for me. But it's quite crowded at the top. There's like a group, and they're all like lying out and stuff. I just put my ankle in that. So I'm bugging it up or something. But you do have to take your time because these boulders are quite hard to navigate. I've just passed the final trail junction, so I'm making good time actually, because it took me a fair time. So it took me 3.5 hours to get up there, which was a little bit longer than I was planning on. Doesn't matter, I've got nowhere else to be, but just mentally I was a bit disappointed because I thought, you know, that was a sign of me going quite slow. But I did stop quite a lot. I took breaks, I had snacks, I obviously did some filming and stuff. I keep tripping over rocks now because I'm not looking where I'm going. So yeah, I'm hoping to be back at the car at a reasonable time so that I can make the most of the late afternoon and evening. I'm camping here in Yosemite tonight, so I want to get some firewood and yeah, just make the most of this paradise, you know. Do you know, I say all the time on these videos, like, oh, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed, blah blah blah, and I genuinely mean it when I say it. But honestly, like, there was a time in the pandemic when I could have lost my job in the airline that I work, which would have meant no more trips getting paid to come to places like this. But also the border was closed, and then even when I kept my job, I could only go on certain routes because the border was closed. We weren't flying as much, and I didn't get to bid and choose for where I go like I used to. And this last, you know, 6-7 months, well, even 9 maybe since the border opened, I just feel like I've got my life back, and no matter what shit life has thrown at me, and it has thrown some shit at me this year, I always have like so much gratitude that somebody up there looks out for me to give me the opportunity to do this, because this is, you know, part of me and part of my life, and I never want to lose this. And yeah, I am genuinely really thankful for everything that I've been lucky enough to achieve and stuff. And I'm very lucky I've got a great support system at home with my partner who supports me doing these things, you know, and helps me out when I need help. And yeah, I don't, sometimes I don't stop to really say thank you to everyone and to comment below.